In a village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river lived a young girl named Alara. Alara was known throughout the village for her infectious laughter and her boundless curiosity about the world around her. One day, Alara was playing by the river when she saw something unusual. A parrot, unlike any she had ever seen before, was perched on a nearby tree. Its feathers were brilliant blue, the color of the sky on the clearest of days. Intrigued, Alara approached the bird. "Lo," she said softly, "why are you blue?" The parrot looked at her with one beady eye, then let out a series of squawks and fluttered its wings. To Alara's surprise, it spoke in a raspy voice. "I am not just any parrot, little girl. I am the last of the sky parrots, and my feathers are the color of the sky itself." Alara gasped. She had never heard anything so fantastical. The last sky parrot. Alara wanted to help him. "What happened to the others?" she asked. The parrot sighed, and his voice seemed to carry the sadness of ages past. "Long ago, there were many of us, and our feathers painted the sky with all the colors of the sunset. But humans with their greed and envy stole our feathers to make themselves beautiful. And now there is only me left." He looked at Alara, his one good eye filled with hope. "And now they are after my feather too." Alara felt a surge of anger. How could anyone be so cruel? She vowed to protect the parrot, but she knew she couldn't do it alone. So she went to the village elder, a wise woman known for her fairness and kindness. "Elder," Alara began, her voice trembling with excitement, "I need your help. There's a sky parrot who needs our protection." The elder's face, usually creased with a kind smile, was clouded with worry when she heard Alara's tale. She knew the reputation of the humans who lived beyond their village, and she feared for the parrot's sake. That night, under the cloak of darkness, the elder and Alara slipped out of the village. They found the parrot by the riverbank, and he told them about a secret cave where he had hidden, hoping to be safe. As they journeyed to the cave, Alara noticed that the humans' houses were dark, which meant everyone was asleep. This gave her an idea. Quickly, she ran to a nearby field and plucked handfuls of tall grass, creating a makeshift torch. Then she led the humans to the cave, pretending to be a lost and frightened animal. The plan worked perfectly. The humans, eager to prove their bravery, followed Alara, unknowingly leading themselves to the cave where the parrot had hidden. One of the humans even reached out to grab the bird, but the parrot was too quick. With a squawk and a flap of his wings, he dodged their grasp. Then, seeing their faces illuminated by the torchlight, he realized who these creatures were, these monsters who had come to steal his precious feather. With a mighty squawk, the parrot flew into the night, his blue feathers flashing like a beacon in the darkness. The humans, realizing they had been tricked, wanted to chase after him, but Alara wouldn't allow it. She stood in front of them, her small form shaking with anger. "You may have tricked me once," she shouted, her voice echoing in the night, "but you won't get away with it again." Then, noticing the torches the humans had brought with them, she had an idea. She grabbed one of the torches and began to run, quickly disappearing into the darkness. The humans, confused and angry, didn't realize that Alara had set the tall grasses surrounding the field ablaze. Soon, the entire field was a roaring inferno, forcing the humans to flee. When the parrot returned to the tree by the river, he found Alara waiting for him. Her eyes, shining with determination, told him everything he needed to know. He had found a friend in this little girl, a friend who understood the value of his gift, the color of the sky. From that day forward, the parrot was safe. And whenever he looked up at the sky, he saw a new color, the color of courage and kindness, the color of a little girl who had saved him from those who would have taken away his most precious gift.